YouTube, what's going on? It's Chris here. I want to bring you a little update. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to go through it. We're going to do Ethereum. We're going to do Litecoin. I know someone was asking about ETC. We might do that. And probably, I know people want to see XRP and Digi. So we're going to go through these guys. And first of all, I just want to tell you, I cannot thank you guys enough for the overwhelming support and love. The people who gave donations, I'm just so thankful to you guys. The people who gave prayers, even more thankful. I can't thank you all enough. And I've been going through and trying to get back to all the comments and everything. If I missed any, I'm gonna go back once my wife and I get home. I'm finally allowed to get out of the house just a little bit, and we're gonna ride in the car and go see some lights, and just kind of excited to do that because been so cooped up and just healing and everything. But we're moving around a little bit now. The bleeding has stopped, so we're so thankful for that, and we're just on that healing process. And guys, throughout this healing process, since I'm not able to go back to my business for about 4 weeks or so, I'm going to start back up February 1st. I'm really going to be studying, and I'm going to put in even more time into these charts and videos and just growing on YouTube and everything like that. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys. Couldn't sleep last night, having a lot of pain and all those type of things. So I was up and I was reading about trendline breaks. It was a PDF, and it's about 68 pages, and I read about 30 of them last night, and I was just really paying attention to that, guys, because trendline breaks, even on RSIs and even down to the minute charts, from the minutes all the way up to the month and all that, guys, are one of the most powerful things, and people really underestimate that. And it was talking about how the big guys who really move the markets, that's what they're really paying attention to, are those trendline breaks, support, resistance, channels, different things like that. And we want to ride their coattails, so we want to learn as much as we can, guys. So I'm going to bring you what I can today. Still having a lot of trouble just even talking and stuff due to the stomach pain and all that, but we're getting through it, guys. And I just can't thank you enough. So what I'm going to get into here, guys, this is Bitcoin. We are at 3809 right now. Okay, so first of all, guys, whenever we look at these things, let's do our support and our resistances first. So our support that we're really looking to hold here is going to be that 3107, and then overhead resistance, so this is our little channel here, guys, is that 4370. Overhead moving averages, and this is on the 1 day we're looking at here. We have the 50 overhead, so what we would want to do is close up above that, guys. First, it'd be important to close above the 20 EMA, which is right here. You can see we've been flirting with that, so if we could get a close above that, that'd be good. And then overhead, we also have this right here, guys, which is our 100 moving average. So those are the things you want to take, into account, that this here is going to be a really big zone that guys are potentially going to be shorting right there around that 53, 57. And then we're also going to have right up here, do you see all this overhead resistance? That's going to be a huge spot around that 6,062 to 65 right there. There's going to be a lot of guys who are going to want to jump in at that point as a bear. So we're going to have to see, though, but people have been talking about this kind of, little inverse head and shoulders pattern here, and if we're going to come back up and test some of these levels. So we have a bearish side, we have a bullish side, we have to play the support, we have to play the resistance. We got a nice run here, guys. We're going to have to see what happens. Another thing I like to throw on here is our Fibonacci, just so you guys can see here. And we'll do it in 2 different ways and see if we have any convergence here. So we could take it from this point. And you can see, guys, we kind of drilled that 50 right there. We're sitting right on top of that 50% of the Fibonacci, if you guys can see that a little bit better. Okay, so we have that one there, and then another Fibonacci that I want to pull to see if we got above the 236, which is a really important area, guys. It's hard to get over. Then we can pull that back down to that area right there, and let's change colors here, and we'll see if we can see any confluence there. So up above that 236 is going to be at 3934 right there. And that's also going to coincide with the 236 of that other move. So there's a lot there, guys, where we could definitely get pushed back down a little bit more. But let's pay attention and really keep an eye on where we close tonight. That's going to be a big deal. If we close above this 20 EMA, you guys know how powerful the 20 EMA is. So we're zoomed in right there, and you can see we are above it right now. If we could close there at 8 o'clock, I do believe the market's closed. And another thing I want you guys to do too how we talked about the trend line breaks. So on your RSI, always put one right here. You guys can see where the trend is. We have 2 touches there. We would get probably another third right down in here. But if we break down through that with volume, most likely we're going to be falling. Otherwise, we're going to have to see if that holds. But RSI trend breaks are very powerful as well, and also the support of them is very important. So guys, those are the things that I'm looking for right now. We're just kind of working in that channel. We're going to see if we can either get above that 43.70 or if we're going to drop back down to that 31.07. Okay, keep an eye on this. We did have, guys, really nice volume, which we haven't had in a long time, come in, which I do like to see there. And if we could get this 20 moving average to cross over the 50 there, that would be a huge deal as well. Moving average crosses are a really big deal. You could spend a year just studying those alone. So guys, let's move on to Ethereum here. And these aren't going to be as long as like the beginning part, guys, because I'm going to have to be leaving here. My wife's being kind to me right now, waiting on me. But I wanted to get this to you guys, and it's getting dark now, so perfect timing anyways. But it's so nice to be back here with y'all. So guys, Ethereum is one thing that I've had my eye on right now. I've been watching it on the 1 hour chart because there's been a trend line that's been held since the 15th of December, and if we break down from there, we very easily could go down to about $111, and there could be some nice profits to be made there as the bear. Okay, so here's our RSI. We had a beautiful move come in, guys. Now, do you see that shooting star candle? That's a really big deal there. That shows that basically the bulls got rejected and the bears pushed us back down. So those are always really powerful, especially on the daily, guys. And that's why I feel like we potentially could go back down to around this 618 here at 111. So there's going to be guys taking longs here. And there's also going to be guys who potentially could be shorting. If we see this break around 130, they'll short down to that area. So keep that in mind. Same deal, we're looking for the 20 moving average to cross over the 50. That's a big deal. We have had nice increasing bullish volume, which is good, guys. Same deal down here on the RSI. You want to draw your trend line and look to see if there's any breaks of that, especially on the daily. So we draw that right there, guys, and then we'll just look over here. Our upper support and our resistance is what we're going to look at. Those are really important. So what we have here is our support of 81, guys, and we have overhead resistance of course, this moving average here, this 100, which also coincides with this little bear flag that broke down here. So pay attention to those bear flags, guys, and those bear flags, you're going to see volume, and then you'll see volume dry up, and then you'll see it down again, and that's exactly what happened. There's the break of the volume dried up, and then we had that next break. So always keep that in mind as well. All right, but big overhead resistance here is going to be around that 181. There's going to be a lot of guys who'd probably short that if it got up to that point. So that's Ethereum, guys, and we just have to take this support channel by support channel and resistance channel by resistance channel, okay? Like, there's so much more to look at in this chart, but I'm just not going to get into that right now because this is what's important. We're looking for crosses. We're looking for supports to be held. We're looking for resistances to be broken or rejected from. So those are the type of things we want to look at. Next thing, let's go to Litecoin, LTC. What are you guys doing tonight? Hopefully you guys get a little bit of time off. I know everyone's working and so many different crazy things, but just spend some time with your family, guys. Christmas so wonderful, and it's my Savior's birth, so very thankful. But what I want to see here, guys, or what I was looking at the other day, see if I can move that up. There we go. So these are all the overhead resistances that we're going to be flirting with. We're going to have a big one's going to be around that 56. We're going to have 68, 92, and 100. And then obviously, guys, up here, you can see this trend is what's so amazing to me. And this is why I want you guys to really pay attention to trends, is because they really can last for a long time. All right, take a look at this trend on LTC. So we've been going down since these tweezer tops, which would have told us to get out right there, guys. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of trouble right now, but we're going to get through this. So it has been since May 18th we have been in a downtrend here where we've just been moving. And we have not really even gotten above the 20 EMA, which is a big deal. So right now is one of the first times we actually have been above it, it looks like, or we're pretty close to it. Let's see here. Yep. Right here, guys. So if we could close above that, that would be a big deal as well. We want to see that. And we also set a higher high, guys, just by a cent here. Very close, which is a good deal. So if we could set a higher low here, move back up, maybe we could test that area around that $40 mark. But supports, like we talked about, let's always do this when we look at these charts. So here's our support around that 22. And then, guys, overhead resistance, what we got to was around that 37 before we had another one. It almost looks like a gravestone doji there. Take a look at that. Yeah, so that's a gravestone doji there, guys. See that? And we couldn't get past that 50. We flirted with it, we wicked through it, but we did not close through it, and that's what pushed us back down. So really look for those things, guys. Same deal here, trend line breaks. And hopefully tonight I'll get to read a little bit more about that stuff, guys. It's really, really important. So we're going to see if that breaks there. But so fascinating just to see and then really go back through all the charts. And I was back testing it through, you know, the daily chart, the 4-hour charts. When those trend lines break, guys, either up or down, they really, really move. And you got to look for volume. Okay, that's the key for the confirmation. So it closes, and then so once it breaks that trend line, it will close there, and then it's going to break on volume either to the upside or the downside, because there can be a false breakout. I want you guys to know that too. All right, so we're going to move on from there. Let's do XRP real quick. All right. So guys, you can see on these things where I just had everything mapped out here that I was looking at. Okay, all the different breaks. I mean, you can see down here on lower time frames where we're looking at triangles, all that type of stuff. So right now we're hopefully bouncing off this 36 cent area right here. If we could bounce off that, which is probably the 382, I would say, of that move, somewhere right around in there, or potentially the 50. Let's see. Yeah, guys, so between the 50 and the 382 right there is that move, so we're going to have to wait to see where we close. We did have that. It looks like a bullish belt hold line candle, but it's kind of more of a shooting star just because it's coming from the top there. That bullish belt hold, you'd want to see continuation coming through. Our bottom, guys, is around 27. We're going to look for support to be there, and then if there's not support there, we're going to be looking at 25. And then the upper one's obviously the moving averages, but if we could get above this, guys, there's a little bit of room to run because of how far that we fell. That's a big deal, and I want you to pay attention to that, because whenever you fall fast like that, a lot of times you'll have a makeup for it on the other side. All right, and then these highs here are about 60 cents, which a lot of guys will probably be shorting that there. So really pay attention to that, guys. Keep an eye on it, and always pay attention to these like your RSI. So we were pushing here, and then price went up, and we actually did get a higher high, which was good. So we're going to have to see if we just have a pullback to this 20 close here before we make another move up. It's a possibility. So keep that in mind, guys, and we'll do Digi bite. And then I'm probably going to have to head out of here. But again, guys, the overwhelming support and love is just amazing. All the prayers, I'm so thankful for you guys. And like I said, I want to do the best that I can for you. And being off this month, guys, I really plan on learning so much more and bringing it to you the best that I can. So, all right, guys. So here's DigiByte versus the U.S. dollar here. We're really flirting with this 20 that we got to pay attention to. It would be beautiful to get a close over top of that tonight, because we said that 20 EMA. Do you see each time, guys, we came up, we'd hit it, we'd get rejected, and we actually made it through it. But all these other times, I mean, it was just pushing us. We were just getting ridden by that thing. So we want to look at that. And then also, do you see this here, how this is rising? We have the higher lows on DigiByte taking place, which is good. So we're going to see if we break through that, or if we're going to bounce off that, guys. But here's our high. We had a higher high, which is good. So we're just going to have to see. And our support here is at that 0.0073. And then our overhead resistance is around that 1.3 right there. That's going to be a spot we really need to pay attention to. And guys, probably right around in there. So that's what I'm saying. There's lots of room to run on this chart, even here, because of how hard and aggressive the falls have been. So got to keep an eye on that, guys. We kind of had a little doji here on the daily, which is good, but it didn't come on a ton of volume. We had that move up, which is good, but it didn't come on a lot of volume. So I just want to bring this to you all, and we'll have to wait and see. But you know, I'm going to continue to be here for you the best that I can, guys. I'm hoping to make, you know, daily videos and all that. So if you could like, subscribe, all that, really help us out with YouTube and all that. And, you know, guys, I can't thank you enough. I just want to tell you God bless you. And, you know, guys, throughout all the health stuff, you know, I'm a 30-year-old guy, and it really puts a lot of things in perspective, which I've always, you know, been in perspective with my faith and my family and how important life is. But everyone stresses about charts and money and this going down or this going up, and guys, it's not really that big of a deal. And you got to pay attention to your family and your friends and your health and all that before everything else, and all the rest is going to fall in place, especially if we work hard, guys, and we study and we learn, and we outwork the competition. And I'm here for you, and you guys are here for me, so let's do it. Let's get this crypto. God bless each and every one of you.